How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jeff. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I'm sure you have a busy day today.
Oh man, we're blessed, man. As I was telling Ellie before we started this whole process, we never thought anyone would even see this movie outside of the festival circuit. So we're grateful to have this opportunity.
Well, congratulations on the film. It's really, really, really good, fantastic film.
Thank you.
Now, am I correct in saying that Robert had originally approached you about doing a short film, correct?
Well, Robert and I met each other in 2009 up in Sundance, and we had seen each other's films and just had crushes on each other, right? And just really wanted to work together. And we he had a script that he had sent me called Nebraska before Nebraska, the other Nebraska was made, and we couldn't get funding, and we just kind of kept staying in touch. But we were always kind of working towards getting a film going. Um, and in 2018, I called him and I just said, "Look, man, we've got to go shoot something. I need to go work and do something that really means that I feel like I can immerse myself in from a truly creative standpoint and no distractions." And he goes, well, look, man, we got to figure out. I go, look, what if I give you 50 grand? That's more money you've ever had on any of these little films you've shot. I said, what if we take that and we've got like 2 weeks, 12 days. And he sent me the short, which was called The Drift, which was essentially that last scene in the film when
Okay,
I go to pick up the children.
sure.
And it was just really kind of questioning divorce and, masculinity and how the children respond, seeing their dad kind of go through that experience. And I said, well, this is great. And it seemed financially feasible. But I was like, we can't do a short. We got to have a feature, right?
Right.
No one's going to take it seriously if we come bring it. So we needed a real calling card to show that we could make a good film together. And that was in August of 2018. Robert called me in October. He had the film, he had written the script, and I fell in love with it. And we were on set the day after Thanksgiving.
Wow. So, how were you able to help flesh out the characters at all? How about the script at all? Was it something that Robert came pretty finished with?
Robert's a great writer.
Right.
What Robert is great at is he doesn't overwrite characters. Truly puts the creates scenes. I've said this to my wife. I said Robert could shoot a salt and pepper shaker, and by the way he shoots it and manipulates the lighting and the camera, he can create a love affair between those two things, right? So he's so good at creating these worlds, and then if you just put the actors in these places, and you just kind of come from a place of honesty. So no, I did not help him. I mean, look, did we kind of talk about the material, and did we have like 4 different endings, when we first had the script? Yeah, 100%. And did everyone in Hollywood tell us, do not open the movie the way that you're going to open the movie? It will not work, right? It 100% is an awful idea. Yes. But as far as the character work, that's Robert's strong suit, man. He creates these worlds, and I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to play them.
It's so interesting that you were advised not to open the film that way because it was so engaging.
Jeff, everyone now, yeah, it's like, oh my God. But I'm talking 7 out of 7 of the people we truly respect in this industry, we shared that film with before we sent it to Sundance. And 7 out of 7 said, cut this.
Wow.
Seven out of 7.
Now this is the first film that Robert's had actual actors in, correct? And prior to that, I think he just had like friends and family. Did that inform you as an actor? Even now, I know there's a lot of friends and family in this one as well, including his kids. Did that inform you as an actor at all? Did you take his previous work and his style as a filmmaker, did that inform you as an actor at all?
What informed me was that if he could get those kind of performances out of non-actors, I I I was excited to. I always love working with non-actors, and look, I think it's almost like a negative thing to say because these people do consider themselves actors.
Sure.
They just haven't kind of devoted their life to it and left their family and everything they know to kind of pursue this, right? So maybe they don't have the passion as it relates to sacrifice for acting, but I do truly kind of think they see themselves as performers. And what's beautiful about that is they always just try to come from a place of reality and how would they react if they were really in the grocery store? How would they say this if they were really sad that someone was doing this whatever act to them. So for us, and even more so having the children in there, Jeff, these guys, they only come from a place of honesty. So if you bring any actor BS into the game, it's quickly going to start
Sure.
stinking in
Yeah.
the room. So what was lovely is that they kind of kept everything grounded. And we were lucky to have Chris and Seppi, who agreed to come work with us, because you're talking about two guys that showed up with their work gloves and their mud boots on, man. They came in and they were willing to rehearse. Anytime we weren't shooting, we were all rehearsing and talking about the scene. It was
Well,
like
that
actor camp.
well that that leads me to my next question, because there are a lot of long takes in this film, which is not typical for Robert. He tends to do that as a filmmaker. There's a lot of long takes. What was the rehearsal process like for those? Did you have multiple takes? Did you rehearse those extensively?
Well, you know, like I said, 32 grand in 12 days to get it all shot. There was not a lot of time for multiple takes, you know. And our dolly was an old golf cart that only worked, half the time.
Wow.
So we just knew that, yeah, man, we knew that it was, we had to be great. And we had to have all of the what's a good word? All of the cobwebs had to be cleared. Like there couldn't be any confusion about what we were going into. So rehearsal was crucial. You know, Seppi and I had to put it in park when she says, "Are you thinking about getting your own place?" Skirt, record skips.
Right.
What? You know, the truck's got to be stopped. We got to be stopped. I'm on a wreck. You know what I mean? So we had to make that drive, and we had to get the dialogue to where, all right, when we pass this light, that's when you're going to say your first line, right?
Wow.
So we just, and look, it sounds, maybe to some people they're like, oh my God, it sounds like so much work. This is all I want to do. This is all, as an actor, I want to have all of those things taken care of so that when the camera's on, because it's like playing ball, when the light comes on, this whole other thing comes over, right? Like you can go to BP all day, but man, there's something about that fastball when the stadium's full, that you can put it out of the park as opposed to, center field catching it. So we wanted to get all of those things so that when the lights came on and Robert was right here with that camera, that we knew exactly because we knew we'd get 2 takes, maybe 3. We knew exactly where we were going, so that the first one we had to nail, the second we got to try something fun, right? And the third one was, okay, if we got a third one, it was like, okay, let's really kind of think of the scene, and is there anything that we missed that made working, but the long takes were a gift. It's like theater. You just get a running start. Or like I compared it the other day, it's like an old hot rod. I love old cars. And I had a 70 Mach 1 in LA for 15 years. And that thing ran like a horse and buggy in traffic. But if I got it on the 5 freeway at 2 o'clock in the morning, man, that thing hummed, by the time I got to Glendale. You get to open it up. And I think actors are artists in general, musicians are the same way. You need to be able to kind of let it just pass through you. And I think it allowed these scenes to have such clear arcs, which you don't always get with multiple cuts.
Right. Well, again, congratulations on the film. It's really fantastic. And thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, Jeff, thank you. Have a great day, man.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.